Right now, most of us are in a state of lockdown. We are forced to stay inside. We cannot go out and spend our time with friends or just by ourselves. Doing things on our smartphones is what we see as the easiest way to spend time. But we cannot do well with things that matter more to us, more importantly our studies, by just scrolling through different apps like Facebook, TikTok, etc. that just suck in our attention. So how can we fix this? How can we properly use our phones to do better in the IOA entrance exam? This is exactly what I am going to talk about in this video. Planning, studying, practice and revision. These are what I consider the 4 pillars of doing well in any examination, let alone the IOA entrance exam. Planning is very important to do anything. To do well in exams, we need to have a proper study plan. We can have 2 types of plans, one for the short term and another for the long term. The short term plan is just a simple to-do list where we write what we are going to do the next day. This gives us clarity and decreases friction while trying to study. This makes studying a lot easier. We can use apps like Google Keep or Microsoft To Do to make to-do lists. At the end of the day, when we look at all the ticks and strike-throughs on our to-do lists, the feeling is so satisfying. We get a sense of accomplishment and get motivated to do even better. For long-term plans like reaching a certain goal or developing a certain habit, we can use calendar apps like Google Calendar. I prefer using Google Keep and Google Calendar because they just work so well together. Now, let's talk about studying. Planning is never enough. Execution matters the most. We know about inertia. We need to apply force to move a body at rest or to stop a moving body. The same goes for studying. Starting may be hard, but once we get into the flow, studying becomes so smooth. This is where the Pomodoro technique comes in handy. It just tricks our brain into studying for a short duration, but once we start studying, everything becomes a lot easier. There are a lot of Pomodoro apps available, but my favorite is Focus Meter. It's a great app with a simple interface and even shows stats about what we spent the Pomodoros in. Practice strengthens our concepts and also helps us know what we don't know. But getting access to important resources, especially question banks, is extremely difficult with whatever's going on at the moment. But we are fortunate to have a few apps and websites where we can test our concepts. The best one I can recommend is Engineering Note. It is everything that a question bank has to offer and even more. It's not free, but the price of the subscriptions is pretty reasonable. With different subscriptions, we can get access to more than 15,000 MCQs and even weekly tests and unlimited mock tests. Taking a subscription seems like a no-brainer to me. Even without a subscription, we are given a set of questions every day which they call the daily capsule. Other good platforms which are worth mentioning and where we can practice are clamphook.com and ellipsers.com. To store information in such a way that we can remember them for a long time, we need to periodically revise them. There are analog and digital ways to revise, but here we are only talking about how we can use our smartphones to do these things. And I think that one of the most effective methods, if not the most effective way to revise on our smartphones is by creating flashcards. For this, the best app in my opinion is Anki. This works great with the way we study and practice. While we are studying, we find different facts and points that we feel like we need to remember. With a flashcard app like Anki, we can just type a question on one side and the answer on the other side. When we look at a flashcard, it makes us think more, which is a much better option than just reading the thing again. Also, while solving questions from question banks, and while doing mock tests, we find many questions that we'd like to look back in the future and try to solve that. Even for this, Anki is a very great tool. We can just snap a screenshot and attach it to the flashcard so that we can solve them again later on. Things are difficult for all of us right now. Nothing is certain. But we need to be prepared for whatever comes next. We do not know when the board exams are happening, and we have no idea when the IOA entrance exam is going to take place either. We need to make the best use of the time we have and be prepared for the worst. Get enough sleep, eat healthy, stay fit, and keep working hard. For now, this is Sumantawang signing off. I hope you liked this one. See you hopefully in the next one.